Welcome back to RBC After Class. Today on Second Act is Kristen Yeager. She is a brand and design consultant and former dancer with the New York City Ballet. I hope you enjoy her story.
My name was Kristen Sloan. It's now Kristen Yeager. I grew up outside of Boston, and for my dance career, I danced with New York City Ballet, just like Ashlee. And now it's kind of hard to both figure out and explain what I do now. But I have a company with my husband. We do a mix of um, design work across a number of different areas, brand consulting work. We create photography and video, although we're doing less of that these days. We're still always trying to figure out what we want to do when we grow up.
Yeah.
But that's part of the fun. And I also feel like that's one tiny thing that dance has probably helped with is just like staying adaptable,
Mm.
and like trying to always think about what do I enjoy and how do I channel that into something that's also valuable.
What did you love most about dancing?
I really love the music. Um, I mean, of course, I um, enjoyed the movement and everything as well, but it was really the music that I responded to. So whenever I had different teachers that would introduce different music that I'd never heard before, that always kind of inspired me in a new way. And then I saw New York City Ballet for the first time, and I was like, this is completely different. I've never heard music like this before. I've never seen movement like that before. Everybody on the stage was dancing. The people that were in the core, weren't just standing around. Yeah, everyone is dancing. And so the music was really big for me. And then the other part was the athletic component, to kind of personally see how you could push yourself, and work really, really hard and see results. And it was really up to you. You have these people around you that can support you and give you amazing feedback and perspective, and encouragement and all of that. But really, in the end, like, if you don't do the work yourself, it's not going to happen. And the amount that you can achieve is so directly related to how much work you actually put in yourself.
What advice do you have for young dancers, and is there anything you wish you had done differently?
Um, I think the biggest thing for me, of course, it's different for everybody. Um, I feel like there's this attitude, and I don't know if it was just in the settings I was in or if it's just my own personality, but there was like this attitude of you have to wait for somebody to pick you. So like you can work as hard as you can work, but somehow you're supposed to like stay quiet and you know um, not show off or try to prove anything. Just hope that like the right person sees you at the right time and you get the right opportunity, um, and and then it'll work out. And I think like it's true not just in the ballet world, but like everywhere, which is like you kind of have to like communicate what you want to have happen. Otherwise people may not even know, um, or they may think like because you're not being aggressive that you're not interested. And I think like that may have happened to me a couple of times where I wanted something so badly, but I didn't think like it um, was the right way to go about it, to communicate it or to make that obvious. And then maybe people thought like I actually didn't really want to perform those roles or do those things.
You've reached success in two very different fields. How did you do that? And are there any mental tools that you use that have helped you?
If you're dancing and you have experience with dancing, you have the ability to teach yourself. You have a lot of self-discipline. I mean, you can't be a dancer without showing up. um, and I think there are a lot of things you can do in in the world, because you work with other people, where some days like some people you can tell like they're just like not showing up.
Yeah.
And kind of relying on the fact that there's other people around them that can pick up the slack. But as a dancer, obviously that's not possible, because you are the dancer and you can't just sit there. Definitely the self-discipline and knowing that, if you keep working at something, you will improve. Although there's usually the dip where like you think you're getting better and then all of a sudden you're like, I suck at this. What's happening? I can't do this. What am I doing? And just self-doubt. And then, if you can get that through that and keep working, then, you'll get better. That is true for dance. It's true for everything. When my husband and I first started working together, we were doing more kind of video work, and occasionally we had a few people with dance backgrounds that helped us out on a couple different productions. And yeah, they're always dependable and smart and always thinking too. And then the other thing for me, because I didn't really have a lot of formal training in some of the things that we're doing now. But it's really amazing what you can learn and pick up if you're just actually listening to people and observant and interested in kind of like putting the pieces together.
What are the benefits to dance education?
If there's something that strikes you about it, whether it's obviously music, movement, storytelling, communicating, even just being in a room with other people and having a fun shared experience, that's great too. I do think like the working on refining something. So like you start one way doing something, and that process of trying to take somebody else's feedback and implement it in real time and like seeing the results. That is one really cool thing about it is, if you have a great teacher, um, sometimes like they could just say one thing and it completely changes how something works for you or works for your body or the way something happens, like figuring something out that you could think about that would actually change the way your body would move or like your intention and how you're doing something. But like just learning how that can be applied and listening to people. There's really like a lot of great aspects to ballet, and again, like just the like showing up for class, and you have to be prepared. And oh man, like if you don't have your shoes sewn or your point shoes are too soft, you're going to hurt yourself. You don't have the right tights or leotard. That the amount of unfortunately stress around making sure you're prepared in all the right ways. But I think that actually helped when I was doing video work. A lot of it was actually just making sure on the production side, you have all of the elements lined up and ready to go, and even just thinking through like all the equipment that you need, and is everything charged, and do you have your memory cards ready? Like there's like all these checklists and things that you have to go through even before you can do the thing that you want to do. Shooting video is creating art, and like that was the thing that I wanted to be doing, but there are all these things that you had to do before that point to make sure that you were prepared to actually do it well. So yeah, but the kind of spatial awareness also. You experience this at City Ballet, the speed that you need to learn choreography at, and finding ways inside your brain that you can memorize patterns. It's an interesting exercise. I don't know what it does to your brain in the future.
And it's so immediate. And I tell my students all the time, like the people, when you're at an elite level, everyone can do the double pirouette. Everyone has everything you have. There's the only differentiating factor is the details that you pick up, and really being able to show immediately that you've understood and can execute. Um, so important. And that, I mean, if you're a lawyer and you're able to do that, that's
Right.
amazing. You know, but
Right.
any field um, can help you if you have just practiced that particular piece over and
Right.
over and over and over and over again.
Right.
That really sets you apart, I think.
And that's like extreme paying attention. Yeah, picking up those details. Yeah, exactly. It's so true. Yeah, and I think that does correlate to I mean it continues in everything else that I've done. Like when we joke with me and my husband that he's like big picture and I'm details, because I literally like the second I look at something I'm like and then I like see all this stuff. So he's like good at like doing the big broad strokes, and then I'll go in and like refine stuff. Um,
That
but
that had to have come from dance, I think.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's hard work, but it's super engaging, and it's good brain exercise, not just physical exercise, which I think a lot of people don't. I mean, if you don't do it, you don't. There's no reason for you to know that.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.